everyone, I'm Lori Ricciardoni and this is my test kitchen. This is part 4 of Gluten-Free Travels Italian style. And although I was going to make my father's chicken francaise, which is the first thing I learned how to make, I might have to do that another time. We're going to make risotto. We're going to go through the ingredients. So I'm using a arborio rice. I had a chicken stock in the freezer, so I'm using a chicken stock. You could of course use a vegetable stock. I like to use homemade stock. I think it's important and just yields a much more delicious risotto. We're going to use beautiful white onion. I just chop it really fine. A little bit of white wine, it's optional. You don't have to put it in there. A little salt and pepper to taste, lemon zest. I'm putting a little creme fraiche in there. It just gives it a really creamy consistency. Again, you could leave that out if you don't want extra dairy. Parmesan Reggiano, of course. Fresh parsley, tarragon, I think I already said that, which goes in at the end. And sugar snap peas are in season right now, and asparagus. I'm making a coconut milk panna cotta. Again, this is our Italian theme, and trying to use a little bit less dairy. I'm going to make a simple salad. I got beautiful greens at the market. I will make a little vinaigrette with some shallots. I might put a little Dijon mustard in there, I'm not sure yet. Maybe some champagne vinegar, really good olive oil, salt and pepper, and that's it. Just beautiful light green salad. So we're starting our risotto. I like to start with a hot pan. I mix olive oil and butter. So I heat that up well, and then I put in my onions. And I do it on low to medium heat, and just until they're really translucent. You don't want to brown them, but you do really want them soft and translucent. And then after that, I put my rice in. Now, there's a lot of different theories about how long to kind of cook your rice before you put the liquid in. I do it for, about 3 to 5 minutes. I like seeing a little bit of white, kind of a little dot of white in the individual arborio rice, because the starch, then you want the starch to release itself slowly. So that's what I look for. When that happens, I add my wine, and you don't have to add wine, but I like to put a little bit of wine, about 1/4 cup of wine, and I just let that all incorporate. When that's just about dry, then I start putting in my stock. I usually will start with maybe a cup, maybe a little bit more, but I would say not a cup, 2 ladlefuls. And you do want to keep stirring. You don't have to do it every single second. So when you're just about done, maybe another minute or 2 away, and everything's absorbed, taste it for seasoning, for sure. And then I'll fold in my creme fraiche if you're using that, and some Parmesan Reggiano, and some of my herbs, and just fold it in gently with the heat off. I've turned the heat off at this point. Just fold everything in till everything gets to know each other, as my father used to say. And then I'll put the cover on, and I'll just let it sit for a few minutes. If you're adding vegetables, which we are, I've steamed. You can grill them, saute them. You could do it any way you want to. I've steamed some asparagus and sugar snap peas, and then I'll fold those in as well. And I'll save the rest of my herbs for the end that I will, sprinkle on top with a little bit more Parmesan Reggiano. Put a fair amount of lemon zest in the risotto. I do put that in more towards the end, just keeps it fresh and vibrant. And there's your risotto. Beautiful ceramic dish, white plate, whatever you prefer. Plate it, beautiful glass of wine. What's better than that? All right, it's time for our taste test. Looks beautiful. I like going over the benefits. So sorrel is our main ingredient, and it's really packed with a lot of vitamins and minerals, and it has a lot of antioxidant power as well. And which I wasn't even aware of this, but it lowers high blood pressure and the bad cholesterol. So I think that's pretty cool. For a full list of all the benefits in our dinner today, you can visit my website, LoriRicciardoni.com. The recipe will also be probably on the Italian table under recipes. There'll be a direct link to that as well. I like to separate the Italian table and just reminiscent of all the dishes that I grew up with. Thank you for watching, everyone. I hope that you enjoyed this recipe and that you will give this one a try. Risotto is one of my favorite things to make. It's really easy. It does take a little bit of patience and time, but it's really worth it. All right, happy spring, and I will see you next time. We might have to do part 5 on gluten-free travels because I didn't make my father's chicken franchise, which is gluten-free and equally as delicious, and it's a really simple, elegant dish that I make over and over and over again. I've just made it so many times over the years. It's comfort food for me. And so stay tuned, and we will see you next time.